What is up, guys? It's Zam here, and today is my day of the year. And in case you wonder what the heck I mean by that, it's just my way of saying that it is my birthday. And first of all, I am not going to reveal how old I'm turning, but you just have to trust me that I am turning old enough, and the cycle doesn't end here. You guys know that. But anyways, I really didn't have anything in mind to discuss today, so I'm just going to sit here and ramble, and anybody who shows up, y'all can take control of the flow of the stream. But one of the things that I just wanted to randomly mention is how the year feels like it has sped up some, but it also feels like it's been going by really slow at the same time. But when I think about it, if we're in August already, that means that there's only like a third of the year left, which is pretty wild. And with that, it also means that the weather should be changing again. And every time we are in the summer, I think it's going to be such a long time before the cold weather gets back. And now it's like, how long has the heat been around for? It doesn't feel like it's been around for that long, but it really has. And then when the cold does arrive, it's like, damn, it's a long time before summer comes back, but it really doesn't take that long for time to just pass by when you get old. So that, with that said, I just wonder how that happens. As a kid, I used to feel like a week was like a month. It just felt like a very, very long time. And weekends would just fly by like crazy. But at the same time, as a kid, I felt like they were long enough for me to have time to do everything for recreation that I wanted to do. Whereas as an adult, I don't know if it's me just moving slowly or something, but I feel like I don't have time for anything. But when I think about it, my mornings as a kid used to start around 7 or 8, whereas as an adult, I'm always so tired that I don't start until like 10 or 11. So that's already half of my day, daytime hours, pretty much gone. But, anyways, hey everyone, today's Emery's birthday. Today, happy birthday, Emery. Hello, thanks so much. And like I was telling you a couple of minutes ago, I did not get a cake, but I did get that chocolate toasted coconut custard, and pretty much what it is, it's like a cross between frozen yogurt and shoot, what the heck can I compare it to? You just have to try it. That's the best thing I can tell you. It still tastes like ice cream, but it's the texture of it that's different. I find it to be really silky. And when it melts and it turns liquidy, that is the best part. It's like molten ice cream. It's its own amazing thing, right? Well, frozen custard is just a different consistency, and to me that's what makes it amazing. And it also has like this silkiness to it. So I am sorry that I do not have the proper words to describe it, but it's one of those things that you just have to try. And there's one place that's like one city away from me that I go to, and I cannot imagine it being done any better than that. So if you ever see frozen custard as something being offered somewhere, please give it a shot. I think that you will enjoy that a lot. And then while we're talking about food, another thing I did was I went to an Indian buffet, and oh my god, I ate until, like, if you were to take a needle and just poke me and without even drawing blood, I will burst. That's how stuffed I am. So it is possible that because this is live, at any minute I may have like a little burp escape, and that would be so embarrassing, but I think I got it under control now. But yeah, I'm telling you, I was so stuffed. All I wanted to do was like pass out and sleep for like an hour or two or however long. I feel like I have eaten more today than I have eaten cumulatively in the past 2 months. But yet I'm still gaining weight, right? But my weight gain is the result of me making poor food choices, like revolving around junk food and I guess sugar heavy stuff out of stress. But stuff is getting way better now. That's why you guys have been seeing me here a little bit more often, and I also feel a whole lot better too. But of course, there's some stuff in my personal life that I just need to deal with, so that I can regain control of some stuff like I used to. But everything is a process. Everything takes time. So it's okay. Life changes. It's just exhausting. But as frustrating as it gets, and trust me, I have been in a dark path lately. I'm pretty sure that I'll recover. I have faith that everything will get better. And fortunately, the little bit of support that I do get is enough. I can do wonders with it. So I don't want you guys to worry for any reason. Back in the day, Christmas took 3 years to come. Today's world, everything is so fast. Yeah, when you're a kid, Christmas though, I feel like Christmas did take a long time to come around. You're right about that. I would always look forward to Christmas the moment games were being announced, new games coming out and stuff. And of course, they were announced more during the holidays, and that was just such a painful wait because if games get released during the summer and I'm able to get my hands on them, at least I am out of school for 2 months to be able to enjoy them enough. But when they get released in the middle of like maybe September or freaking May when we have exams going on, it's terrible. But at least as an adult, that's not something that you have to worry about. But what's embarrassing is that now that I am an adult, I don't even play games. So it's like I can afford the games now, technically, if I make a plan and save up for them. But I just don't have the call to play them anymore. Isn't that wild? You're welcome, and wow, that is cool. That's different to have. I would love to try that. Please don't be sorry. It's cool, Zamri. I will give it a shot. Wow, that is good. You are full. Yes, I am not kidding you. I just feel my stuffedness right now. I'm not someone who eats until I am stuffed, but when you're in a buffet, first of all, you're not there often, and second of all, you just want to enjoy everything. So I was doing small portions of everything, like a little bit of salad, a little bit of garbanzo beans, a little bit of two kinds of chicken, a piece of the naan bread, a little bit of basmati rice, a little bit of yellowy rice, like lemon rice of some sort. Like, just little bits of everything. I was eating like a bird. But if you multiply those little bits and pieces by three, which was the number of times I got up to fill up my plate, that is a lot. Especially considering that when you eat, you're supposed to divide what you eat. It's not good to just eat a lot in one sitting. It's best to sort of break up what you eat throughout the day. And that's the reason why I don't frequent places like that, because I like to get my money's worth. But this is something that happens once a year, and it's not like I'm eating like that every day, so I'm sure I'll be fine. And also, I did want to get a little carried away because today is Friday, which means that when I go to the gym, that's when I do lifting. Today is bicep day. So I need to have as much protein and power as possible, but hopefully I can have enough hours to rest before I go to the gym, because if I go to the gym this stuffed, I am not going to have a good time. And sometimes if you eat too much before you go to the gym, sure, you have the proper nutrients, but you are kind of sluggish because you're getting tired from being full, I guess. Like, you ever eat a lot and you feel like taking a nap? Well, imagine you getting to the gym and you're ready to be physically active, but all you want to do is crash. That's what happens. So at least this happened around, let's see, 1 o'clock. By 1 o'clock, that's when I stopped eating. But this is gonna last a while. So I'm just hoping that 2 more hours from now, I am on a more clear path so I can go to the gym and do what I have to do. But it is good that I ate this much because let's see, for the last 2 days, I have only been having like one meal a day and then many, many, many snacks. There is no way that is a sustainable practice, you know? But yeah, everything's good. I hang out on Twitter, as you can probably tell, and I like to read what's going on. Lots of crazy things happening, especially in the political spectrum. But yeah, I mean, not much. Like just same old, same old. Let's see. Your hair knows it's your birthday. Yeah, I still have yet to do something about the split ends, you know? I gotta give a little bit of attention to it, but yeah, it's definitely long, the longest I've ever had it. It doesn't feel like it's growing any more beyond this point, but of course I know that hair is still growing, but it's I don't feel it that different. Maybe I need to measure it another month from now and maybe I'll see the difference. But I feel like it stopped growing. Like it doesn't feel like it's any longer than it's been lately. But yeah, it's just shiny. Look at the glow. So I see what you're saying. Do you have more birthday plans? Not really. All I want to do is rest. I did take off a week from work, starting yesterday. So I don't go back in until Wednesday. I have a brief meeting. It only lasts like an hour. It's a mandatory one that I have to go to. And then after that, I'm off for the rest of the day. And then I go back on Thursday, and they hopefully only have me on a 4 day stretch the remainder of that week, because if I still have to work on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, so on and so forth, of next week or the week after next, it's like, why am I taking time off if you're going to set me up to have a stretch and then I'll be tired as hell again? You know, sometimes they do that. So if I see that I am going to turn into that person and I'm going to say, can you switch me with someone? Because seriously, the whole reason I took this time off was to rest, and now you're trying to like throw a lot of shifts at me. Just no. There's no reason why you cannot divide my days, you know? So basically, my attitude when it comes to that is I want to take better care of myself now, because I was reaching a point to where I was not taking care of myself and I was feeling terrible. I was miserable. I was not sleeping. I was eating poorly. I was gaining weight, and it's just it doesn't feel well. So anything that has been contributing to me like losing control in my life, those are the things I want to address. So the problems at home, I'll address them. The problems at work, I'll address them. You know, stuff like that. It's about time that I started taking better action, because stuff will get worse before it gets better. So I just want to just distance myself from everything and everybody just for a couple of days and then be like, all right, I have recovered. This is what I'm going to do. And also during this time off, um, I want to be able to enjoy some recreational activities without feeling guilty that I should be focusing on working or my grinds on the side. So I just want to be carefree for once, because I feel like it's been a long time since I did that. And this is my first time taking time off in 2 years. So yeah, I am considering taking another round of days off between September or October, but I haven't decided because I don't want to consume my time off. Uh, what if something comes up and I may need to be out from work and then I don't have uh, paid time off money? You know, that's dangerous to do. I can get sick too, and if I get sick and need to be absent, I need to have money for if I get sick. so that I can recover. You know, hopefully stuff like that doesn't happen, but just because you see a lot of numbers under your paid time off doesn't mean that you can go crazy just using them up. So I just want to be careful and make good decisions when it comes to that. Um, I'm an adult collecting toys still and playing with action figures. You know what? Sometimes I wonder what would I be doing if I still had my entire collection of action figures from when I was growing up. I had pretty much every single character, Dragon Ball Z character. I had some Pokemon, I had some Power Rangers. In fact, I kept my Power Rangers, except for the Dino Thunder ones. But I still have some of those lying around too. And in fact, I made a video about it way back in the day, 2016. That was one of my first videos. I don't want to say my first, but maybe 2 months into making videos, I think. So it's somewhere. And then what else? What else do I have? Shoot, I don't remember. But I know that I still have a few toys lying around. I don't actively play with them. But if I had a more space in my room, I feel like I would display them a little more. But now, the way that I have my room set up is like a distribution center to where the stuff that I'm trying to sell and stuff I'm just putting on one corner, and then once that's gone, I'm just hoping to not buy crap and hoard in my room because I feel like it's cluttered. I feel trapped. So I'm just trying to give some time for stuff to just get sold, and that way I can leave that room just freed up and feel like I have more freedom within these four walls, you know? Because I sometimes I feel like I come home to another job and it keeps you fatigued. And if I had it my way, I would not have any of this stuff in my room because I don't want to associate my room with an extension of work. But I don't have a choice. I need to make wonders with the resources that I have. So that's pretty much what's happening. I just wish that it wouldn't take me years to accomplish that, but whatever it takes, you know. I like to have my priorities sorted. Um, let's see. But yeah, to answer your questions, no, I really don't make big birthday plans. I just, whatever happens, happens. But I always do take a few days off around this day. Like last year, I think I arranged my schedule to have 3 days off in a row. So it was pretty good. But then I said next year, I'm gonna try to take the whole week off. In fact, I had plans to do something for the entire month. But unfortunately, it could not happen, so I ended up canceling that, and hopefully someday I'll be able to get it done. But it's not. If it doesn't happen, then oh well. But yeah, originally I had bigger plans for this month, and I was working on it for a few months. But realistically, it couldn't happen. But anyways, if I ever do end up executing that plan, you guys will be the first ones to know. That's for sure. um, let's see. I love your willpower, Zambri. Willpower is so important to have. When it comes to my willpower, it's something that kind of comes and goes. I wish that I could say that I linger as cool as I present myself when I'm here, but sometimes I definitely lose it and I have my crises. But I don't know what to tell you. All I need is for someone to just be there for me. And once that person is just there for me, once I tell them what's happening to me, I realize that stuff is not as bad as it seems. And it's just nice to have that little bit of support. But in more recent times, I felt like I had absolutely no one there for me whom I regularly count on. And I'm like, well, gee, thanks a lot. And it's, what can I say? I'm not blaming others for my disgraces. I don't want for it to seem that way. It's just that, let's keep it real. It is difficult to conduct your life with absolute autonomy. So, given that fact, that's why I try to arrange for things to happen in which I am involved in a team. But for some reason, the members of the team seemed to be doing their own thing, and I felt like I was being taken advantage of. And that's when I said, this stuff needs to change or stop because it's getting absurd. It's starting to affect me negatively, like my health has suffered. And then I said, well, if this is how things are going to be, I will make a couple of sacrifices. One of the sacrifices I had to make was my time streaming. I couldn't be here as often, but it was starting to affect me because for me, this is something important. But I said, I need to establish my priorities and stick to them. And let me tell you, it's been a lot of difficult nights and days. Some of them I have had to weep myself to sleep from how awful I felt. But then I said, I just gotta remember that no night lasts 24 hours. So after every period of darkness, there's always the period of brightness. So that's what I'm trying to focus on. But last night and the day before and the day before and the day before, it was just not a good time for me to be alive. That's how I felt. But then I said, well, for every time I have felt this down and miserable, I remember when I did recover how great it felt. So let me just hang in there, you know? And that's what I want to carry on as I get older. While I keep getting older, stuff is not going to get any easier. Some aspects of life are going to get easier because you're gaining experience, you're gathering resources, you're growing. That's great. But there are some things that are going to start stacking against you. And that's what I'm starting to make plans to address. And that's why some things I'm desperate about, some things it's important for me to have a balance on and have some kind of security on. But you know, life is just a massive adventure, ups and downs. Some of it is dangerous and whatnot. But anyways, my priority now is to just recover physically, because especially when it comes to my respiratory system, I have been having problems with that, um, and everyone around me has been sick anyway, so it's something that's literally up in the air. And when I monitor the weather, they keep talking about how the air quality is actually bad. So I'm like, okay, great. Every summer something happens to me. Last year I had severe rashes, which they don't surprise me. I've always had skin problems. But I remember trying to do aloe vera gel, and it was this gooiness that I was smothering all over my skin. So I felt like a freaking slug. But it was fun because it reminded me of my childhood when my grandparents used to apply that stuff on me. I was just a very like sickly child. I had problems, always have problems. Um, so I just feel, can I get a break, please? Just any kind of break. But yeah, it's all right. Everything will get better, I'm sure. Um, let's see. Yeah, saving money is a backup. You don't look like you're gaining weight to me. Great. You probably cannot notice that I am gaining weight, probably because it's subtle. My weight gain usually goes to like my belly and upper thighs first, and that is the last thing that you guys see. But another thing that gives it away is my face starts getting round, just like my father's. But yeah, like I remember this time last year, I had like, uh, it just going onto my face, but now it's like a U kind of shape. It's subtle, again, it's subtle. I'm not going to lie, it is difficult to tell when I've gained weight, but for you as a third person, but me, when I have to see this every day, it's like I can see the differences. And with my friends, anytime I look at them at some point and I pay attention to detail, I'm like, you've been gaining weight, haven't you? You've gained like 5 pounds. Oh, yeah, how did you know? Or, hey, you've been losing weight. You know, is that something you were planning or this and that? And then they tell me, oh, yeah, I was changing my diet and I started going back to the gym. And I'm like, well, it's working because I can tell you've lost about 7-ish, 8 pounds. Oh, how did you know? Did I ever tell you that? No, I can just tell. So, so yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it. I wish that I didn't sound like this person who's like, is it hypochondria? The people who think that they have a disease when none is present? But I'm not going to lie, my health has been on the decline. So that's why I'm trying to do everything to regain control of stuff before it gets too out of control. Let's see. Your hair is sky, beautiful weather. Oh, thanks a lot. That's good. That's a great birthday gift. That's good that you have a week off. Yes, they do that. I don't get it. Yes, wow, Dragon Ball Z was fun in those days. Yeah, the 90s and the early 2000s. Those were great times. Earlier today, while I was on the road, I had a random thought about this cartoon called Johnny Bravo. I never saw it, but I thought that he was such an iconic character. What other character out there looks like Johnny Bravo? You know, the blonde hair, like, and the black shirt, and then he has like an extremely buff upper body, but he has like toothpicks for legs. I don't remember what the show was about, and he wore sunglasses too, I think, aviator type maybe. I don't remember. I just remember like the silhouette of him and that he was blonde, but I have no idea what the show was about. But I hear that it was good. It was fun. Well, that's a good idea to sell things, making extra money. Happy birthday. Thanks, Holly. I'll always be here for you. That's what friends are for. Number one, God is with you forever. What part of the world are you living in? I am living in the eastern coast of the United States, toward the southern states. And it's crazy because the weather isn't usually this bad, but if I had to guess what's happening, it has to be the construction. And sometimes we get rain, sometimes we don't. It's been an overall very like arid type of weather. It feels like I'm living in a damn desert, and I've never actually been to a desert. But but yeah, it's everyone's been reporting the same. At the store, we sell a lot of um, allergy medication. Like people keep talking about their allergies, allergies, allergies. Usually the allergies conversation would cease by May, but everyone seems to have been sick throughout the whole summer. In addition to that, I remember reading on some kind of, it must have been the Farmer's Almanac or something, but it said something about brace yourselves because this year is going to bring a lot of famine, dry weather, and also disease and stuff like that. I'm skeptical of it sometimes, but given how crazy the weather has been, I believed it 100%. I said, great. Every year there is an epidemic of some sort. So I was not surprised to read that this was going to be a very sickly like season. Of course, there are some folks who have been unaffected by it, but there is more people that I know of who are on the same boat as me than those who aren't. You're beautiful no matter what. You're doing better than me. How much weight gain? Thicker than a snicker or heavy like a cherry? Well, since October, that's when I started to like lose, uh, I guess my fitness, my shape. But overall, for the past 8 months, I gained that 20 pounds. But I have already lost 12 of those. But the 8 remaining that I have to go have been the most difficult because I cannot seem to get myself to the same weight that I was last year. And it's very simple. It has to do with my diet. I am not eating my veggies like I used to, fruits like I used to. I used to drink smoothies. I used to eat salads every day. I used to eat like protein. My protein was on point. I used to cook fish, do all that stuff, but I just became tired and I kept working overtime. So it's like I just did not have time to be here and cook. And then with my brother moving in, his schedule would interlap with mine to where when I was coming back home from work, he was leaving for work. And sometimes the kitchen was not available. And I just follow a very strict pattern in my afternoons. Um, between 6 p.m. until 9:30ish, I'm busy because that's usually the time that I am getting ready for the gym, going to the gym, being at the gym, taking a shower after the gym, getting ready for the next day, like eating a snack, drinking water, drinking a tea if I have to, taking a shower, all that stuff. So by the time I'm done with all of that, I'm looking at 10 p.m. to do stuff that I want to do, like say be online or call some friends, also grind on the side, you know? So realistically, I just don't have the time, especially if the home is not prepared for me to just go ahead and invade it, you know? Like invade it as in the kitchen is ready for me to stick out a pot and start cooking. No, the kitchen still has stuff to be fixed, stuff to be cleaned up. So what I was doing to save time was I was picking up the healthiest food amongst fast food that I could find. But over time, because my body was not used to that, it was just disagreeing with me a lot, and I was getting sick in my stomach pretty much all the time. And of course, my friends were telling me, how about if you pre cook everything? And I said, because unfortunately, if I refrigerate things or freeze things, I can taste that frozen taste of food. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. And I just hate that. I don't like to enjoy food. The whole reason I buy food every day is to eat it fresh. So I know they meant well. Everyone was trying to help, but I just don't like to get in the habit of putting that stuff in my body. So now I'm just willing to go back to how I used to be. I used to drink water. I don't drink water nowadays. Like, I'm doing so bad at it. And I'm pretty sure that's part of the reason why this stupid uh, sinus problem that I have is not going anywhere. Because you need a lot of fluids, and most of the time I feel dehydrated. But you know, it's so easy to forget when you're caught up on all that stressful stuff that was happening to me. But like I said, at least the entire time I was aware that I had a problem. I was eating poorly and I was not hydrating myself, and even at the gym, my gym performance was mediocre. And when all of those things in life start failing for me, that's when I know that I'm about to have a real emergency on my hands. So that's when I say, okay, it's time to regain control. But like I said, at least I acknowledged it. I knew that I had a problem, and I said, I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I'm going to try to minimize the damage as much as possible. Um, let's see. Welcome. Hi, Zim. Hey, Jack. Salads is the greatest. Can kill weight going down so scaly, and healthy water is the key to your body. And when it comes to salads, I was eating spinach, but unfortunately, nowadays, when I would buy my spinach, it would go bad on me fast. And I'm like, I bought this like 2 days ago, didn't I? And in reality, it had been more than 2 days since I had bought it. It's just that my days were going by so fast. And then I said, okay, I need to make a decision. What is it going to be that I sacrifice? Definitely, I cannot sacrifice my finances. So it's not like I could sacrifice uh, my stuff that I do on the side in the name of having more time while I'm at home, right? It's not supposed to happen. I used to not have this problem. So immediately I told myself, what is the problem? What is different now that was not happening last year? And then, of course, one of them was my brother moving in. How does that make a difference? Well, my time in the house is not what it used to be last year. So now that I can finally evidence that that has made a difference and it has had an impact, now that's where I'm starting to take action. You know, even Dusty's behavior was different. So when my cat is also acting crazy, that means that he's being neglected. So I said, okay, if Dusty could talk, he would probably be giving me advice. So that's when I said, okay, let me just chill out, gain control, also ask for help whenever I need it. And here I am. Let's see. Hope you are staying positive. Oh yeah, always. Like, well, not always because let me tell you, like yesterday and the day before and the day before, like I was mentioning a few seconds ago, I was failing miserably at that. But again, I'm just someone who refuses to give up, even if I'm like hitting rock bottom. That's when I tell myself, if the path feels really difficult right now, I'm probably in the right path. So I just try to remember that I am someone who is guided by faith. And sometimes it's very easy to forget that when you're frustrated and you're like at the verge of going crazy. But then I said that's when I need to prove to myself what I'm made of. So, but anyways, like I said, something that helps is knowing whom I can count on when that happens. So I just feel better now. And hopefully I can get my mind together to stream like I used to. Because sometimes I try to stream, but I'm like, this topic is easy, this topic is fun. I know what I want to say about it, but the words just are not coming to me. And I'm not even a big creator. So I can imagine how people who do this for a living, it can be much more difficult for them because you have the pressure of the community that you're actually serving, and that this is also your livelihood. So even if you don't feel like doing this, you have to somehow. Whereas for me, this is not really what puts food on the table. I do this for recreation. I just so happen to meet a criteria that allows me to get a couple of cents while I'm doing it, right? So, yay, why not? But outside of that, when I try to imagine me doing this for a living, it's like I can see why people go crazy doing this. So I like to advise to people, do not depend on just one thing for your livelihood. Although you want more family time, more free time, trust me, everybody on this planet wants more of that. Just stay productive as busy all hours of your day that you are alive and awake and breathing and functioning and conscious. Because there was a time in which I had pretty much nothing going for me. All I had was one paycheck, and that created so much like instability, and it is not a great way to live. So that's when I started doing my research. What can I do? And then eventually the monetization in this channel was enabled, and I was like, oh, it is possible for me to make like $100 every 6 months at the rate that I'm going, unless I lose all of my subscribers, which has been happening. I'm like a couple hundred away from losing monetization in the channel. But again, what can I do? Like, unfortunately, this is not something that I can think of how to make it grow. Like, this is what makes me comfortable. This layout, this setting. I am not trying to compete against other channels for views and making my content stand out. If you stumble upon one of my videos and you like what you see and you subscribe, great. But to expect for me to evolve what I do in the name of progressing is just not something that I can do because I'm not thinking about this. This is not my primary focus. So I'm sure that I have what it takes to be an entertainer, to be some kind of like those videos that people do in which they make fun of other people or they do imitation videos. I'm sure I could be good at that, but it's just not something that it's not that I'm not passionate about it. It's just that I don't have the plan for that. Maybe if I knew someone else in my social circle who has the same interest as me to where we could collaborate, great. Yeah, I can see myself being motivated to turn this into a serious deal for me. But for me to exit the current layout that I have, it's going to be tough. So that's why occasionally, maybe once a month, I throw in that one video that's different, like whether it be me swimming, me playing basketball, me modeling something stupid, or imitating or something. You know, just because I genuinely like to do that. But for me to have the pressure of I have to keep this channel alive, it's not there. At least I proved to myself that I have what it takes to possibly do something about myself with this, but it's not something I have the calling for. 3 years ago, I did, and what can I say? I got farther than I ever thought I would. All by myself. And what I mean is that in the entire time that this channel has been up, except for maybe 2 times, I have been by myself. So what, you know, I feel happy that I was able to pretty much self-sufficiently make it. And then the way that other people found me was you guys were doing the promo. Someone posted a video to Reddit. If you get somehow popular on Reddit for whatever reason, you pretty much will get an audience of some sort. And for me, I don't even have a Reddit account, but YouTube Analytics was telling me that Reddit was bringing me a lot of traffic. And at the time, I was an absolute internet dummy. I didn't understand what any of that meant. Like, how is it possible for other people to find you outside of the site? Of course, you can share the link, but how often do you guys hear me promoting this shit? Like, oh yeah, please make sure that you subscribe and you leave a like. Da 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 da. I don't like to tell people what to do. That is something that you will do if you're interested in it. I, as a YouTube audience member, I watch videos, and unless it is really fucking amazing that it makes me laugh and I want to remember it for posterity, that's the only time I press the like button. And if I feel really compelled to say something, that's when I leave a comment. But for the most part, I am a silent viewer. And most of the folks who are subscribed to me are silent viewers. And that's fine. So at least now that I have been doing this for a while and I have looked at the analytics, I have an idea of how this works. So if I ever feel like I want to come here and get serious, I have an idea of what I could be doing. But again, this as a business is not my dream. So I would rather keep it as recreation that occasionally puts a few extra bucks in my pocket. But unfortunately, as a business, for me to grow it independently, I am not willing to do that. So, what can I say? You guys can probably expect that you won't see much changing around here. And it seems to me like most of you guys who are, let's call you the regulars, you guys are fine with that. So, cool. Even if you were not fine with that, this is how I like to do things. So I'm not going to change it, especially if this is not my livelihood. It would be nice, but again, this is a stress that I don't want to have. I don't want to turn my hobby into something that I have to sweat and make it productive for me because I depend on it. Just no. I don't want to have that pressure. Let's see. Say hi to Dusty for me, please. Thank you. Well, Dusty is not in this room. I don't like for him to be in my room because sometimes I end up leaving him locked. And also because I have my clothing biz going on, I don't want for his fur to be all over. And I just don't want to deal with that. So unfortunately, he is not allowed to be here. This is a restricted area for Dusty. But yeah, eventually I'll try streaming with him. But he usually starts losing his mind after 30 seconds. So it's very unlikely that you'll see him for either live or for longer than a few seconds on any videos that I put up. Oh, poor Dusty. You guys remember when he was tiny and he could fit in this very hand? Now he's like a fucking little panther. It's amazing how they grow. I'm looking for someone to collaborate with one day. You know what, Jack? If you were not an ocean away from me, I would definitely hang out with you. And I guess we could also do that thing where we could like stream at the same time, but I'm not very technologically savvy. Like, poor Viking was trying to tell me about operating softwares and updates and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm confused. So it's I'm not very savvy when it comes to that. And then Ollie and I, we have been talking about streaming together, but it just never happens. Mostly because my schedule is, bullshit, and he has his stuff going on too. So I cannot expect for stuff to go smoothly on that note. And usually we just forget. Like 97% of the time, that stuff is not in my mind. And when I could be available to do it, he's not at home, or he's just busy. And he's pretty much the only person I have who could possibly make that happen for me. Anyways, whatever happens, whatever it comes down to, it may happen one of these days. So if you ever come up with an idea that you know of that could work, let me know. But just keep in mind that everything that I do using my phone. I don't have home internet, so it's not like I could connect to the PlayStation Network or something and stream together that way. Or what else do you guys do? Anyways, my internet is not as flexible as everybody else's. But yeah, feel free to toss ideas at me. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm a star and you cannot reach me. It is possible to work with me, but the ideas will probably need to come from you because I am just brain dead when it comes to this technology stuff. I'm trying to become better at it, but I'm just not very good at it. God bless your birthday. Thank you. Oh, Dusty, I hope he's alright. Yes, I remember. Oh, yeah, he's fine. He's just very, very hyper. And other times he just drops dead in the middle of the day and he sleeps for hours. And that's when I start taking crazy pictures of him and posting them on Twitter. If you ever wonder, that's what that's about. I love making ideas to business. Doing business is my party. On oh my god, when people party a lot, can lose so much money, will lose your business. Well, I got lots of time on my hand. Well, I am here fairly frequently, so just let me know when is a good time for you and we can try something. Again, I'm sorry, I'm not very savvy when it comes to this stuff. But yeah, just let me know of ways that you know that people can make this happen, and I would love to. Or maybe we can even stream on my own channel. I don't care. Anyways, well, you guys, I really don't have anything else to say. This wasn't really a stream about any topics. This was just me rambling my life away about me getting old and what I have done and what I have heard about and what has happened with me. So if anybody doesn't have anything else to add, I guess I'm gonna bail right here and right now. What does this turn yellow? I don't like it when things turn yellow. Like, it makes me feel like time is just passing by so fast, but it's because I wasn't storing it properly. Oops. Anyways, that was random. Do you have Skype or Discord? I have Skype, and Discord, I have heard of it, but I have never used it. So I'll tell you what, I will invade your channel and I will send you a message or a comment, whatever, with my info. How about that? What else was I gonna say? Was I gonna say something else? No, I wasn't going to say anything else. Oh yeah, I need to try this thing that Viking told me about a year ago. It's called YouNow. Have you guys ever used it? It's some kind of app, and apparently it's like a social network of people that are videoing live pretty much at any time. Like, I see people, they pick a hashtag, and it can be something like hashtag girl, and then it's going to be a girl just making a video, doing a stream. And other times, it can be something like Friday night, hashtag Friday night, and people are posting about what they're doing on their Friday night. I know I downloaded because Viking said it is a very easy way to have two people participating in the stream at the same time, and then I can sign in with YouTube, and whatever stream I do in YouNow can be uploaded in YouTube at the same time or streamed at the same time as it happens. But again, Zam is technologically brain dead, so I don't know how that works. But if you guys know about that, let me know. I'm just shy. I just don't know what to do. You're welcome. Happy birthday. Enjoy your birthday. Hugs, best friend. Enjoy your day. Greetings from your following in Qatar. Greetings. Nice to see you. It's always amazing to me how far away people can tune in from, you know? Like there's people from Europe, people from every single continent, excluding Antarctica for obvious reasons, have pretty much seen me at some point. Oh my god. Just exploring options. Appreciate you saying biracial. We black people have been affected by the term for good. Yeah, definitely. The biracial matter is really complicated. I just don't like that, at least in the United States, we try to oversimplify things. And I feel like that contributes to a lot of the problems in society. You cannot just look at someone and be like, oh, are you black or white or some kind of Hispanic or some kind of Asian? No, there is much more to a person than just that. So I think it's crazy that if you don't fall under the category of black or white, then, or any category for that matter, then there's something wrong with you. No, there is nothing wrong with me. But anyways, we can have a discussion like that another time. Excellent, looking forward to it. Yeah, trust me, I don't forget. Facts and colorism is real. Hugs, hugs, smile, smile. Alright, you guys, well, thanks so much for tuning in, and I promise that I will not desert the channel for too long, but sometimes I just get a little overwhelmed, and I don't like to be here struggling with my words like I am starting to do right now. So I just need a little bit of rest, and then I'll be back in my game. Alright guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me and for the birthday wishes, and I shall see you soon.